Oh, hey, I can see you. God, I look awful. Okay, let's just do this. I need my notes. Got it. Okay. Villa-Valencia. Okay. I'm hungry. Okay, here we go. Hey guys, my name is Liz. I am 26 years old. I live in Southern California and I have Crohn's. Sorry if I look down a lot. I have my notes so I wouldn't forget what to say. Making this video because every time I walk into my doctor's office, well, my doctor's offices, quite literally the only person my age there. And I know I'm not the only person my age out there that's going through this. So I wanted to make this to at least help one of you out there know that you're not alone. It is hard, but you can get through it. My story starts when I was little. I was always sickly, but it was always I ate something wrong or food poisoning or things like that, or gastritis, and just reoccurring over the years, over and over again, same stuff. My biggest, I think, clue to something else was going wrong is that I had psoriasis on my fingers. Like, they're okay-ish right now, but they can get really scabbed and bleeding, and well, I've dealt with that since I was about 4 years old. So that's how I know, like, I've had Crohn's my whole entire life. Psoriasis is also a side effect of Crohn's. I lived pretty okay mostly. It didn't get really, really bad until I gained weight. I was about 167 pounds, and when I was at my heaviest, that's when I got super duper 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 sick. Like, extremely. Like, I honestly felt like I was dying. I was in and out of the hospital. No one could really pinpoint exactly what it was until I had a doctor do a CT scan. And then they said that I had some evidence of colitis. I think that's what it's called. I've been so focused on Crohn's for so long, I can't remember exactly all the other ones. But that's when shit hit the fan and I was in the hospital, was when I gained all that weight. I spent about a year in and out of hospitals before I found the right primary care doctor that referred me to the right GI. It was a nightmare because you have some doctors that are understanding and they're considerate, and then you have other doctors that are like, you probably just want medicine, so get the fuck out of here. Can I cuss? Oops. But that was mentally, I think it was more draining than anything else. But I finally got my doctor and I had my first colonoscopy in November of 2017, and that is when they formally diagnosed me with moderate to severe Crohn's, but more moderate than severe, thankfully. They did an endoscopy also to confirm same thing. He just wanted to, my doctor just wanted to make sure he didn't miss anything. And then shortly after that, in November of 2018, after a day of going out celebrating my birthday, I came back, and when I took off my shoes, my right foot, half of my foot was numb. Naturally, I was freaking out. I didn't know exactly why or what to do, and that lasted like, it wasn't just because my shoes were tight. It lasted for like 2 weeks. It was just completely numb. Like I could barely feel the tingling. So I let my doctors know, and then they referred me to a rheumatoid arthritis specialist. Your girl got arthritis too. And that was in February, and then they sent me through a bunch of tests, and they confirmed that I had rheumatoid arthritis everywhere. Neck, shoulders, hands, wrists, hips, and lower body. It was rough-ish at first, but I think just over time you kind of like learn to deal with everything. I just can't put it in any other words than that. And then in March of 2018, I started Humira for my Crohn's and my arthritis. Humira. It helped. It really did help. My symptoms were minimum. I was able to lift heavier in the gym, which was awesome. It was great. I mean, I hated doing the injection. Every time I did the injection, I'd feel like I'd pass out. The first formulation I had, it would feel like you were injecting acid into you. I, no joke, almost passed out a couple of times. When I got the formula switched, and it didn't hurt as bad, but by that time I had noticed an enlarged lymph node in my neck. It was a pretty big bump, and I was also having symptoms along with that. Night sweats, and well, really night sweats was just like the biggest one that bothered me the most, and it was bothering me. It put pressure down in my ear and made other lymph nodes go crazy. And with Humira, a side effect of being on that medication is lymphoma. Now, I went through 2 different specialists for the lymph node. The first one did a biopsy, and the biopsy quite literally said you need further testing. And then she's like, well, just keep an eye on it. Bro, it's bugging me. Like, you used to be able to see it. If I turned up, like, you could see a big ball right there. Like, just keep an eye on it. I got tired of it because the night sweats were getting worse. I was having pain. I know everybody kept telling me, if you have pain, it's not bad or whatever, but it's bothering me. So I went to get a second opinion. And that dear sweet man, he looked at my biopsy results. He looked at my CT scan results. He looked at my ultrasound results of my neck. And did I say biopsy already? He looked at the biopsy results, and he concluded that I met every criteria to have it removed, to have surgery, to have it removed, especially for further testing. I had to go through, I met that doctor in August of 2019. And I had to get all my doctors to check off before I actually scheduled my pre-op and everything. I have my primary care doctor, whom I see a lot more than regular people see their primary care doctors. I have a GI specialist, and I see his nurse, but I don't count her because he's part of him. I have my rheumatoid arthritis specialist. I have a dermatologist because psoriasis. And I have a chiropractor for my arthritis. And that's not including my dentist and my vision doctor. Makes them 7. Take those 2 away and 5. Had to check off on with all of them for surgery, and also I wanted their opinion to see if it was really the best choice for me and I wasn't just going crazy because it was bugging me. All my doctors checked off. They're like, great, you've been dealing with this for so long. We're happy you finally found the doctor who can take care of it and everything. So I was like, cool. And I called to schedule my first appointment in December of 2019. And then I had my first pre-op appointment of January 2019. I was so nervous. Surgery is probably one of the scariest things that I have done. I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer or anything like that, but I wasn't, let's just say I wasn't planning on anything after surgery. Like catastrophic thinking. Every time I get super anxious, catastrophic thinking to the max. I have my follow-up. Everything's been pretty good. My scar still hurts a bit. It bugs, but I'm dealing. I'm gonna deal, and I know I'm not the only person that is dealing with this, and I know there are people out there that are dealing with so much worse than I'm dealing with. And I just really hope that someone can see this and say like, damn, I don't have it that bad, or like, she has it bad but she's still going, like I can go too. Like I always try to push that. Like I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me at all, because I don't feel sorry for me. I just want to help someone like keep going. Just keep going and you'll make it. Just try and smile every day, and know that one day it will get better. It really will. We'll go ahead and do this, no filters or anything. Feel pretty shitty. And I'm extremely nauseous, and I can't get up and move for too long. But I'm hanging in there. I currently have some numbness in the area. Nausea's gone from the anesthesia, and thank God. I'm just in pain now. Not too bad though, thankfully. Just hanging in there. Day 3 recovery. Clearly swollen. Still pain. Day 4, I think, after my surgery. Swollen and pain, but a lot better than the past couple of days. Happy Valentine's Day. I had some questions that people asked me. Half of them were inappropriate comments. But then I had some other questions. Does my Crohn's affect my eyesight? Not my Crohn's, but my arthritis does. My arthritis causes me to have dry eye or red eye most of the time. Like, my eyes are irritated a lot. My vision is degrading a bit faster than someone else's would, but I'm not too bad. Not too bad. And it's mostly my right eye than my left eye. And can I drink still? Let's see. I can, but not beer. The yeast in the beer upsets my stomach, and even if I do drink, would be wine, and I kind of lean towards whiskey or vodka. It's quite literally like once in a blue moon now. I get in my feels. I might have a cup too many. I'll admit it, but I try my best to not drink because that does flare. That does make you flare. Sorry. I forgot about that question. Inappropriate. My arthritis is affecting me in the gym sometimes. Not my Crohn. Well, they asked if my Crohn's, but it's my arthritis that affects being in the gym. I can't deadlift much right now. Can't like arm weights or weights for your arms and stuff. Like, I can't go too heavy on that. I just simply can't, like, don't have the force to. Do I have to buy clothes often? Thankfully, no. My weight does teeter a ton, but I try and always buy like an extra small or small, so I have clothes when I'm like losing a little bit of weight, and then I also have clothes when I'm like getting a little thick. But I am hoping to stay on a good path now after surgery and everything, to gain healthy weight, go back full time to the gym, and hopefully just my goal is to get to 115 pounds and to be able to lift a little more. I think that's it. The rest of them were dumb questions, like inappropriate stuff we just should not get into. But anyway, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to me. Like, I've had 3 girls in the past reach out to me about my Crohn's and how I do it and stuff, and how I share sometimes about it. And it makes me feel good to try and help someone else. So you guys can message me, and like I said, You're not alone.